name's Amy Barrett-Daffin, and today I wanted to talk to you about a new book that's just come out by Kim Schaefer called Cool Cotton and Whimsical Wool Quilts. So I want to tell you about the pattern and then a few things that I did to make it go a little bit quicker for me, because if you know anything about me by now, you know I like to figure out a way to get my crafts done quickly. The first thing that I did is she called for cutting out 25 of these squares to sew around the edges, and she used Marcia Durst fabric, and I actually love Marcia Durst, so I snuck into my stash and I grabbed that fabric. So what I did was I sewed it into strips, and then I just sewed my strips right on. And then I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to sew my strips out. Now, of course, I realized I should have added one more strip. And so I have the extra pieces from these two sides that I'm going to sew on the end and then get that done. But that way it went together a little bit more quickly. The other thing that I did was, in her original design, she called for the sun. Now remember, this is going to be the opposite. She called for the sun to have all these pieces cut out individually. Well, I thought about doing it, and then I thought, no. So instead, what I did is I went around the sun with two different kinds of embroidery floss or embroidery thread, and I made a circle and then just tacked down the edges of my sun and didn't cut all the little pieces. Now, there were so many little circles in this project, and as I was looking at all these circles, I went, oh, those are all half-inch circles, and I have an Appliqué Quilt Go template that has half-inch circles. So what did I do? Because I didn't want to cut out over 20 little white circles, I grabbed my template, and I've used this to make some other quilt projects, and one day I may show you. I've been doing a lot of applique using adhesive and then stitching it down. So let me show you what I did. So I had this little package. Where's my white wool? And I put my fusible, oh, I forgot to mention that. These are fusible applique, and then with the wool, and then you just stitch down with your embroidery. Pearl cotton or floss, and I used pearl cotton. So what I did is I'm just going to put this right here, and then I'm going to put whatever this thing is that goes on top that makes the magic work, and I'm going to go through. Whoop. There we go. I'm going to go through and cut it, and just keep going all the way through as the table wobbly moves along. Okay. And then the amazing thing is I have all my little circles right here. So what I wanted to show you is, I forgot to mention that this is all fusible applique, which is really nice. It makes it come together really quickly, especially with wool. So what you do is you peel off the little backings, and it's like working with little sticky dots in a way, and you just put them on, and there is a centerpiece that goes in here that I'll show you in a few minutes, and I'll tell you why I am not putting the centerpiece in at this time. So what I'm going to do is just show you with these first few. I've gone ahead and I placed them where I want them, and then I'm just going to put the iron on and tap it down. And it doesn't take very long, unless you don't put the iron on, to get them to stay. And so you're just fusing them on just like that, just a nice warm iron. So then, see, now my little dots are on, and they're not going to go anywhere. So when I go to embroider them down, they'll stay where they are. But I also wanted to show you, there is another set that goes in the middle. So I've got this little purple piece of felt, and I wanted to mention I have a ton of scraps of felt, because I like to do felt embroidery. And these are Kim Schaefer's wool. These are Kim Schaefer's wool, they're not felted, they are felted wool. And so I have a whole bag of colors, then I have another bag of smaller colors. And Kim's are these really bright, luscious wools, like this yellow and this one right here and the white and the black. And so what I do is I save every scrap of wool. Wool is expensive, and I think it's important to save it. And then what I do is just cut out the little pieces as I need them, which is where I got these pieces from. So I'm just gonna squish all my scraps back in. But one thing I wanted to mention is this scrap has these weird little red dots, and I was thinking, you know, I'm not really going to be able to use that because I don't want those to show. But this is the perfect project for that, because I'm going to make little green circles and put them on top, and they're going to cover those. But the thing I wanted to show you about this is that if I were to fuse this down and then fuse these dots down on top, I would be stitching through the background, this black piece, this piece, and these, and that's a lot to hand sew through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my little chicken. I'm going to take the extra piece of felt off. I'm going to open up my cutter one more time, and I measured the green pieces, and they're close enough to 3/4 of an inch that for me, that works. Because for me, I'm just not as concerned. I don't feel like it needs to be 100% perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my green right here. Put my template piece here. And then I'm going to roll it through again and make the whole table wiggle. Hopefully it won't make anybody dizzy. There we go. Almost done. Whoosh! Getting my workout today. I'm going to show you by using just the pressing board and my little green dots that are now stuck. There we go. So I got my green dots. I think I cut more than I needed, but that's okay. I needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 8. So there you go. So just gonna take these, peel them apart, just pop these little babies down. There we go. And you never know, I might be wild and crazy and do 7 because I like odd numbers, but that may not fit. So see how easy it is? I can just cover the little spots just like that, and I've covered I covered that whole bad little area. 4. And I think I'm going to go with 5 dots because I like odd numbers. There you go. All right, so I got my 5 dots. I'm going to move them around a little bit. There we go. And then this way, I'm going to go ahead and just put that hot iron on until I know that they're nice and stuck on. And I'm not going to move the iron because it would maybe move the dots. So now my dots are all nice and secure. See? So then what I'll do is I'm going to peel the paper off, I'm going to stitch it down, and then I'm going to press it down. And so those are my tips for making this adorable pattern. She calls it chicken scratch. And it's super cute. She also has a little teeny tiny piece of purple in there. And for me, I'm probably just going to do like 3 French knots, 3 purple French knots to finish it off. So, and then I may make it a pillow, or I may make it as a wall hanging and give it to one of my sisters. I had a great time stitching it down, and the nice thing is because it's fused, you don't have to capture every single little edge. So I did a nice blanket stitch here, and then I went around in a circle here. I did a stem stitch here. Did a couple little French knots here to add a little pizzazz to the end of my tail. And then, like I said, used mostly scraps to do all the little pieces. So thank you so much. And don't forget the little knobbly knees, because, you know, chickens have knobby knees. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, this is Kim Schaefer's new book, Cool Cottons and Whimsical Wool Quilts. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. We are always checking our questions, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye-bye.